Yeah.
And I'm just like sitting down with Tori. She's chill. She's mad chill. And she's just like, Dean, take a picture of us.
Real Talk with Star Scorpio, episode 103. Today, I'm thrilled to have the incredibly talented Michele Peter, aka Mishy P, aka Missions with MC Mishy. She crossed paths with icons like Snoop Dogg, Kim Kardashian, and even some of the original stars of 90210, which first caught my attention. More recently, she was a contestant on The Amazing Race Canada. Beyond the spotlight, Mishi does powerful work in the community and brings a unique mix of talent, passion, and experience. Mishi, welcome to Real Talk with Star Scorpio. How you doing today?
What? Star Scorpio? You don't know. I'm here with Star Scorpio. You already know Missy P, Queen B, everybody. Let's start the party. Hey.
Yeah.
Real talk. Real recognize real.
There you go. You know, I got a question later about singing, rapping, and dancing. So we'll get into that later. But I see the flow already. I see the flow, Mishi. I see the flow. So
Yeah.
on Real Talk, we like to build a timeline.
Hmm.
So I start from the beginning. But I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, last night I went to your IG page
Yeah.
and it really told a story of your
Oh.
life. Little
Mhm.
snippets, but
Yeah.
every post is such positive energy and inspiration. I don't know if you really see this. Sometimes people do things intentionally. Like I tried to do that with my IG page to build a
Yeah.
story
Yeah.
so people can look back and say, "Oh, wow, look what he's gone through or look what he accomplished." So, do you do this intentionally? Because what I see on your page is growth, experience, and moments that make people feel like they're living it through you.
Hmm. Yes, I do it intentionally, especially I want to spread the joy and everything that not only that I accomplished, but like that I've personally been through. I've been through so many storms in life,
Mm.
but you only see just a tidbit. Like, it seems like, hey, she's living it up. She's so happy. But behind the scenes, of course, I've been through, uh, you know, um, of trauma, even immigrating to Canada, the tribulations that I've been through coming
Mhm.
here with my family, and the experiences that I had in Canada as well. But nonetheless, I still want to spread that joy and peace, and I'm a social butterfly, so I love connecting with new people, and I also want to also spread my the love of my faith and Jesus, and that's how I use my social media. And I'm also an MC, and entertainment reporter, so people connect with me through social media because of that as well.
Yes. Yo, good answer. I like that. I like that a lot. But yo, you mentioned things there, so I'm gonna ask you a couple questions before we build that timeline again. But right off the bat, I want to know your IG handle. Can you explain why you have missions with MC Mishi?
Yeah, so I recently changed it. It was like something MC Michelle Smile.
Mhm.
Because I'm always like, my motto is like, keep smiling no matter
Yeah.
what happens, keep smiling, because your smile is contagious no matter what people are going through. Even a smile lifts them up. And but missions with MC Mishi is like, I'm going on a lot of missions,
Yeah.
and a lot of wild adventures, even Amazing Race Canada. So
Yeah.
I want people to virtually join me on my IG on these different missions that I'm going on. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing the
And
adventures, and who knows what's to come.
there you go. I like to
Yeah.
hear that. So now I'm gonna quote something I seen on your page too, and you tell me what it means to you. And I have to read it here, right?
Yeah.
So she opens her mouth with wisdom and teaching of kindness.
It's on her
It's on
tongue.
her tongue. Can you explain what that means to you?
Yes, it's a Bible verse,
Mhm.
Proverbs, and basically, the power. There's so much power in the tongue. Like the weapon that our Lord Jesus gave us is the tongue. That's the most powerful weapon. You could speak life or death with the tongue. And so I want to speak life, and I don't want to speak any negativity towards anybody. I don't want to put anybody down. I just want to uplift people, and I just want to, just speak that positive reinforcement into people, because there's no point in speaking negativity. And um, teaching of kindness is wisdom, because you know spreading love and joy is like what is the wisdom that I want. Like, it's important for me. So it's the godly teachings that I've learned about as well, is the wisdom that I want to live by, and not through my own understanding, but it's through the teachings that with the faith that I believed in.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
nice. Thanks for
yeah,
sharing that. Did you
yeah.
put that quote right when you started your channel, or is it something that you built up to and said, yes, I want to display this on my page?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I didn't get the IG from the beginning. I think just my cousins were like the ones, "Oh, did you get, Instagram?" I was like, oh no, not another one. I'm okay
Yeah.
with Facebook.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's been okay. So I got in. Then as I got stronger in my faith and my walk with Christ, I was just like, you know what? This is a verse that stands out to me,
Mhm.
because people do know me as just being positive and being friendly and kind, and just, they know that I've been through a lot of struggles in life, and um, which I don't tell everybody. I don't open up to everybody. Only the people that I trust. And so people see that and they're like, "Oh, you've been through so much, but you still carry that joy. You still carry that wisdom." So it's just, yeah. So that I was like, through me, like hopefully I reach out to others who are going through a rough time in life. Yeah.
Yeah. I so this is why I'm glad we connected, because you can look at someone and say, "Oh wow, they have an amazing life," but you
Yeah.
don't know what they've been through to get
Yeah.
to that point where they are, right?
Yeah.
And they might think you have all these accolades and you have success and you may
Yeah.
have money, but the trauma, the experiences, the negativity that built up in I think everyone has it in their
Yeah.
life. It doesn't show sometimes. Some people show it and you can even see it on their face
Yeah.
because they wear it. But what I'm getting from you is you try not to wear it. So
Yeah.
I like that.
I try
Positive.
not to wear it, but like I'm still sensitive. Like
Oh, for
I
sure.
still cry. Like even talking about this makes me emotional. So, but yeah, the joy of the Lord is my strength, and I keep going, and continuing to have that strength for my mom as well. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. I gotta tell you now though, Mish, watch out. Real Talk with Star Scorpio is known to shed us some tears, so
Yes, I know.
so
I'm already
something
starting to shed.
something might come out, you know. But I
I'm
always tell
the
them,
social worker. I'm supposed to be listening. I'm the youth mentor and everything. I'm supposed to be the one that, keeps it strong for everybody. But, I can't, what that girl from Love Island said, I'm a sensitive gangster too, you know?
yeah. Oh Maya.
Yeah,
Oh, we could get into that too. We could get into that too. Um, I've been saved though because I wear the shades.
yeah,
I've been emotional in many podcasts, but
yeah,
you can't see it, you know?
yeah,
But it doesn't bother me to you can hear it in my voice sometimes. I hope you
yeah.
don't do it to me though. Okay. Okay. Last
Okay.
last question before we get into the timeline is I had to scroll, like I said, I was on your IG and I had to scroll and scroll right to the bottom. And I'm glad you didn't have a lot of posts. Like you may deleted some, but you only had over 300. Some people have thousands.
Yeah,
And sometimes I have to do research and I keep scrolling, but I want to talk about this particular post right away, even though we're going to get into some stuff later.
yeah,
You're pictured with a group of people
yeah,
and Nav Bhatia. You got
yeah,
to tell me about that experience and what led to you, because I'm sure it was at a Raptors game. But
yeah.
how did that experience happen and why were you there with the group of people?
Yes, big up my boy now Batia,
Yes.
Uncle Batia. But yes, basically, I was working in Regent Park for numerous years as a youth mentor, youth outreach worker, and so this is working with youth in a low income priority neighborhood, Regent Park. And basically, they brought me on board. I was working in Regent Park Focus Youth Media Arts Center, and before the revitalization happened.
Mm,
And basically, I wanted to just change it up, in the community. And I wanted these kids in the community who don't have access to these opportunities to have some fun as well, because they've been through a lot. Who knows what they're going home, what they're going home to.
mm,
And some of these kids have experienced abuse and just isolation and bullying. So I just was like, let me just share some fun times with these kids as well. So I reached out to um Uncle Batia, and he connected me with his people,
mm.
and he was just like on board, like just right away on board to help these kids come to the Raptors game, and they were super excited. I believe that was my first Raptors game as well, and so it was just
Okay.
like such excitement. And then like before the game, he even came to say hi
Mhm.
and just give some, words of wisdom, and just pump up the kids. And they were just like extremely grateful. I'll never forget those kids. We still keep in touch as well. So it's
Amazing.
great to, yeah. Thank you for that memorable opportunity.
Those kids were the kids. They're grown. They're really
Yeah.
grown now, right?
Grown now, we still keep in touch on social media. I see some of them got married.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so great to see. And then Mustafa Ahmed, he's like, he didn't come to the game that day, but he blew up. He's like the poster child for Regent Park now. And I reached out to him because I'm also doing a charity event next week, a basketball charity event
Yes.
in Regent Park. So I was
Yeah.
like, yo, I called up his old number. It's not, I don't know if it's working, but
Yes.
it wasn't him on the voicemail.
Yeah.
And I just emailed him, and I was like, buddy, is this still your email? But yeah, nothing yet. But he just blew up, so in representing Regent Park. So yeah,
Yeah.
I still keep in touch with them as much as I can. Yeah.
Nice. That's nice to hear. And
Yeah.
yeah, I saw the event that's coming up too on your on
Yeah.
your face on your Instagram. And I
Yeah.
seen the picture you used from I think it was He Got Game. So I was like, oh, this is she knows her stuff, man.
No, that's my boy Emmanuel. He has been running this organization
Okay.
for 3 years now.
Mhm.
Uh, cause like just to fight cancer. Recently, like it's so important to um to have these kind of organizations and these charitable organizations and these fundraisers, because just as like you do,
Mhm.
um, in a fun way, because even I have like families, members who have experienced who have cancer.
Yeah.
My died from cancer, and recently my mom had a cancer scare as well,
Mhm.
and she's getting her thyroid removed in
Okay.
November. So it's just like all of that just is like, this is why I told Emmanuel, who I met in church. I was just like, yeah, buddy, I'm on board. Like, whatever you need me to do at this event, I'm there. So you got all my support. So it was him who
Nice.
put that poster together. So big up, shout out to Emmanuel.
Nice. Nice.
He's also
Man.
an actor. Yeah, he's an actor as well. And yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Nice. And you see what I find in life too is
Mhm.
when you help people, it's like you're like me probably. You do it out of the kindness in your heart, right? It's not like you're trying to gain something. You know what
No.
I mean? And then
Yeah.
I feel like things come back to me like 1,000%, whatever it
Yeah.
may be. Just the joys, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the
Yeah.
blessings from
Yeah.
above.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The blessings. Yeah.
Hmm. The
Yeah.
first thing I want to know from you, Mishi, is where were you born and raised?
Yes, I was born in Paris, France, and my parents immigrated to France from Sri Lanka,
Mm,
which is a little island in South. All of us are South Asian, but I'm particularly Tamil, and we went through like a genocide, a war, and so my parents wanted to escape the war. So they, at that time, a lot of people were going to Europe. So they decided to go to France. And then Yeah, I was born in France, moved around in Europe a bit, Holland, England, Switzerland. We have family all over. And
Mhm.
then finally we immigrated to Canada, and I've been raised in Canada since like, yeah, elementary school.
Yeah, I think that was my question. What age? Because
Yeah.
do you remember those times in Switzerland, Holland, France? Do you like have vivid memories of those times?
I, very like yeah, very faint memories, very faint memories. Yeah, like I do remember like some of my cousins playing a prank on me. There was like some stacked suitcases, and they put me on, and they like a slide. They pushed me down. I was like, I won't forget that memory.
Yeah, yeah.
But like but very yeah, very faint memories. But I do go back to France. It's been a while, but yeah, from time to time I do go back to Europe.
Mhm. And you know what? You just mentioned Switzerland.
Yeah,
And I had a question later on, but I'm gonna ask you now because now I see the tie. You were in Switzerland and kind
yeah,
of raised to moving
yeah,
around. You
yeah.
climbed a mountain. What's the mountain or what did you climb there?
Yeah, a mountain all by myself. I did like a Euro trip by myself, and
Hmm.
then I just I explored these mountain tops on my own. I was just like on the mountain. I was just like, I wouldn't mind in the future getting proposed on a mountain top. Whoever's watching this, my future, a man of God, Scorpio put a word out there for me. But nonetheless, yeah, I was exploring the mountaintops on my own. It was like so amazing. It was emotional as well. And then I was just while I'm exploring the mountaintops, a group of like Asians, like I think they were Chinese. They just gravitated towards me, and they're just like talking to me like, they're like, "Can I take a picture?" And I'm like, "Sure." Like I don't know what's going on, but it just caught me off guard. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I don't know what that, but it was just great the solo trip, and it was just uh yeah, moving, yeah, just like the mountains, yeah.
So now getting back to your life now,
Yeah.
were your parents on the strict side or were they more relaxed?
They were on the strict side,
Yeah.
definitely. I was definitely afraid of them, but just like I don't want to disappoint them, you know.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of disappointment with my sibling, so I didn't
Yeah.
want to be like that person, that daughter as well to disappoint them.
Yeah.
So basically, I was just like afraid of them, but then I was just like, you know what? One thing about me, as I grew, like when I was younger, my parents would say, you were more quiet. You were more like, more scared when you're quiet. But then, like, as I started growing up,
Mhm.
I get like the Canadian culture and everything, watching like the shows that I did and everything. I'm just like, yeah, AKA 90210.
Yeah.
I'm getting more brave and like more courageous. And I was like, we're gonna act up, but like we're not gonna get wild, but I'm still gonna go out. I still
Yeah.
went clubbing. I still went out. Had my own like parties when my parents like I think so like when I lived in an apartment building, Finch and Warden, Bridlewood near Bridlewood Mall. Like my parents would be upstairs and like party room, partying and everything. Like I'm just like, so I wasn't having house parties since I was like 17. Just going to the club but not getting too wild, but there's a balance,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Oh, so you did the clubs in Toronto too, you're
oh
saying?
yeah, I did the government. It was my first.
What? You remember government? Oh my God.
Rest in peace government.
Yeah.
Yeah, government, everything, and like everything, yeah, Peter Street, yeah.
Yeah, that's my street. Yeah. Oh, and your last name too.
We got two first names,
Yeah.
Peter.
Yo, isn't it crazy how the downtown like core, the club district has changed now? It's
I
so crazy.
know.
Yeah.
It's gnarly. Honestly, I don't. Yeah. So, but yeah, it just was able to be more brave and speak. I was able to be more confident in myself and speaking up as well and standing up for rights. Like I'm not going to be some like in the South Asian culture,
Mhm.
women are taught to be submissive and like just just not talk too much, just be obedient to
Mhm.
males. But I was just like, that's not me. Like I speak what's on my mind. I
Mhm.
mean, there's a time and place, but if I don't agree with what you're saying
Right.
and the way you're talking about women,
Hmm.
then I'm gonna stand up,
Stand up, say
and
something.
you're not gonna like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where my Scarborough side comes.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm sweet. I'm a sweet girl,
Yeah.
but I can get,
Yeah.
spicy. Yeah.
Oh, of course, of course. Um, so we talked about Scarborough now. So in elementary school, now I want to get into school because I find that, you know, elementary, we have junior high, high school. These moments shape our lives. What did you excel in school for subject wise? What did you like?
So I went to school, and I went to elementary school, St. Aidan. I do wish I went to Degrassi Junior High, something like that. But little St. Aidan, Finch and Warden area, Bridlewood Mall area,
Yeah.
and I excelled in art and theater as well, like
Mhm.
drama.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was so competitive in like art, like visual arts, even like acting. Because I guess I was like watching all these shows like 90210, and I was just like, I could envision myself on the show. Like even
Yeah.
when the beginning was like, I'm just like
Yeah.
pretending
Yeah.
like I'm on it, like like I don't know, just acting out these scenes. But yeah, there was like competition, like even when there would be a new girl in school, and then she's also good at art, and like there'd be a school competition, like, oh yeah, you get to win like money for this. I'm working all night on this painting, and like I'm just like like just like detail, attention to detail, and like people could see like the our classmates like, oh, it's between her and her, and like it's like one year I believe they had to give the art award to two people because it was just that competitive. And then, yeah, just like just acting out scenes for even book reports and stuff. I just love entertaining people. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, so that extrovert side showed in you then, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
for me, I was like very quiet, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and not outspoken and stuff. But then it hit me around grade 5 or 6,
Yeah.
where some people used to say you should be on TV, you should be in commercials, because I was that joker. And it
Yes,
seems like you excelled too in a lot of stuff in what is that? In competition too, which
exactly.
yeah, which that brings a lot of like banter back and forth with people.
Exactly. I was so competitive. Even now, like I'm competitive, like in a friendly way. I think the only thing I tell people I do not compete for guys. Like
Yeah,
everything else, I compete. I'm very competitive in nature, but
yeah,
when it comes to like guys and stuff, I'm like, girl, you can have them.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
girl, we don't like if a man knows like you're the one, then you don't. There won't be any competition. But like that, like I step aside for that. I'm like, honey, go ahead. But like, yeah. Other than that, like, yeah, competing even in sports, um yeah, art competitions and so many other things, just like very competitive nature. Yeah, like public speaking, we had like public speaking in elementary school as well, but just even like just to like entertain people, like I remember in elementary school for the public speaking someone was writing talking about racism, which is I totally am supportive. Like even now, I'm totally rooting for like the cause of racism, the
Hmm.
discussion of racism. But me back then, when I was a kid, I was just like, I like to entertain people. I was the joker too. So like,
Right.
I was talking about how much I hate bugs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wait. So you brought up sports. What did you play? What sports did you play?
So I played basketball, soccer. I was in a soccer league, the first South Asian women's soccer league. That so I was so grateful to be part of that, and because in the South Asian culture, years ago women weren't recognized. Like it was now women are fighting for their rights in the
Right.
South Asian culture, and like bringing up there. You see more South Asian leagues, women's leagues, but few years ago we had to fight for that women's soccer league, as you
Hmm.
may have seen that in one of my posts. And so that was a great incredible experience. So the adrenaline rush that we had being part of this first ever women's, not just women's, like South Asian women's soccer team was exceptional. And on top of that we won, so it was like you know
Yeah.
and then even for that I was like, gotta find like people got to cover this. So, we got some media coverage for that as well. And so I played basketball as well, was in a league for that. Played some ultimate frisbee, not a super fan, but it was fun. It was an experience. And volleyball as well. I love volleyball.
Yeah. Not, oh,
Yeah.
volleyball was my sport too. Because I had a vertical. Like I
Oh,
was saying, I'm not that tall. I'm 5'7",
yeah.
but I could jump, I could dunk back in the days.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
love I love volleyball.
Yeah.
Um, so we were talking about our heights
Yeah.
before we started recording. So you're
Mm,
5'11", you said. But
yeah.
were you a late bloomer or were you one of the ones that was always tall amongst your peers?
Yeah, I'm the CN Tower.
Yeah.
I've always been tall since kindergarten. They always put me at the back. I was like, yo, put me at the front. I want to show my fit. I want to show my fit. Like, put me in now. People are like, go to the back. I'm like, nah, you like, no, you go to the back.
Yeah. I like to hear it. Like to hear it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those pictures.
Yeah, the height is just like it's kind of like a blessing in disguise because you can kind of like like it is like harder for tall women to find like tall men, but
Mhm.
like with the height, I feel like it's like it helps me to wean out, people like, just like, okay, you're not for me, you're not for me. And so it's just
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, someone special will come along that's tall, but yeah, yeah,
There you go. There you go. One thing I like to ask about school is
yeah,
teachers. So when I ask this to people,
yeah.
I find they know someone right away. So I want to see if it happens to you. Do
Okay.
you have a memory of a teacher that saw the light in you and inspired you to do things? Or on the flip side, do you have a teacher that was kind of negative or you didn't understand why they treated you that way and you wanted to prove them wrong? Does any of that resonate with you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've had supportive teachers even in elementary schools where the support came from. I had, I believe, West Indian teacher, Miss Simmons. She was the one who was like telling me, "Oh wow, your coloring skills
Yeah.
are exceptional." And I was just like, "Oh, thank you." And like she was just like making fun of like one of my classmates. Shout out Steven. She was just like, "Steven, people are not colored purple." Like
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like yeah, watch the way Michelle, those little encouragements helped motivate me. And like Miss Warren, another elementary school teacher, and Madame Santacono, my French teacher. There All these teachers were so supportive.
Mhm.
And but when it came to high school, I had one guidance counselor. He was just like, "Oh, with these marks, you're gonna go to community basket weaving school or something like that." And
Wow.
I'm going to prove to this guy that I'm going to get into university and I'm just going to like, yeah, go on, excel from there. But yeah, because I wasn't taking high school seriously in the beginning and I was just like focused on the arts and the drama and stuff, like not the high school drama,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
but like the performing arts.
Right. Right.
But I was not like keen on like math and science and stuff. So
Yeah.
I had to like go to summer school and stuff. But yeah, other than that, so I proved that guy wrong for sure. Yeah, I proved him
Sweet.
wrong.
I like
Yeah,
hearing that because yeah, you drop the names. A lot of
yeah,
people, of course, even me, you remember the names of your teachers and you just drop, and it could be like 20, 30 years ago, but you always remember certain
yeah,
teachers.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
love Mom Santacono, the French teacher. Yeah, because like my mom would pop in, they're like talking in French, and then I don't know if my mom had like a way in, but she was like, I
yeah.
got the French award, and I was like, hey.
Yeah, yeah.
But she was cool because I went back to elementary school and she was just like, oh yeah, telling me all, looking at the pictures on the wall. And she's like, oh yeah, this person, and like telling me all the tea. And I was like, Madame, I don't think you should be doing this. But go ahead, do tell.
Hey, what high school did you go to?
St. Joe's. It was an all girls school.
Yeah, I know St. Joe's. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Debut, just like in
Yeah.
North York. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Remember, we're from the hood. We know the areas here,
I
right?
know, yeah. Like, well, people wanted me to go to like Francis Lieberman or Pope John. Pope John Paul. I was going to go to Pope,
Hmm.
but then I was just like, I want to like experience something new. Like, I don't want to like. I keep, I wanted to change up the atmosphere. So let me hit up St. Joe's and
Yeah.
see what this is about. Let's do this all girl school
Hmm.
business.
Okay, so after high school, or
Yeah.
even during high school, did you know what you wanted to do post-secondary? Like, did you have something in mind for a career at the time?
Yeah. So even like I think ever since I was a kid, like elementary school, just want to be like in the media, in on TV, acting, just a TV personality. Yeah,
Hmm.
because I like love entertaining people. I love watching, like I love memorizing skits. I love just meeting, working on set with new faces and becoming one family. I just seeing all those behind the scenes and stuff. I was like, I want to be part of that. And I was like, I'm pretty good at it, acting and all the memorizing lines. Like I've always wanted to be like I was watching Barney and Friends ever since, like just watching all these little kids shows, and I was like, I could do this, I could do this, I could dance, I could sing. But as I got older and older, like I did do like the entertainment reporting, doing freelancing and freelance journalism. Got in with a little bit of Much Music, did some stuff for them, and MTV Canada.
Hmm.
But then I thought about stability. And like,
Right.
I was just like, there's not that much stability in like the acting. I need something that's like I know that's going to be there.
Hmm.
So and also I was just like I do like helping people and I'm passionate about making a difference in the community
Hmm.
and I want to use the voice that I've been given and as I gained more confidence I was like my voice became more louder and I wanted to be heard for like the issues that are going on and like how I feel about them and what needs to be done. So I thought let's tie in media and also my social awareness and
Yeah.
tie them together. And that's why I was just like I was brainstorming with my dad's friend. um he was like, why not social work? Why not social work?
Hmm.
So I was just like, yeah, I love helping people. I love making a difference. I love standing up for human rights and all those, or societal movements that I feel so strongly about. So I was just like, let's do social work, but let's also when I did the social work program at Ryerson, now
Yeah.
TMU,
Yes. Yeah.
Toronto Metropolitan University, I was just like everything I did, even in the social work program, every presentation was all like skits and acting because I wanted to bring it alive.
Right.
I don't want to just read off a paper. And I even in elementary book, as I mentioned, book reports, high school presentations. Like I remember we did a science project in high school,
Hmm.
and I was like, guys, I have a great idea to make this presentation more fun. Why not bring out a puppet?
Yeah.
Let the puppet talk. I could be the puppet talking. And then
Hmm.
they're like, get rid of that puppet right now. Like, this is so embarrassing. Do
Yeah.
not bring that puppet. I was like, but it's gonna be so much fun. Presentation points.
Yeah.
Like those people like presentations where some people do most of the work and some
Yeah. Of
I was
course.
like I was kind of like that. I let most of the people do the work, but I was like, let me do the presentation. Let me work on the presentation part. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. And so when we were doing that science presentation, this girl, she's like, it was boring. It was boring. And she's just
Yeah.
like, and then you put the lard in here and then she's like, do you have that puppet, Michelle? Is that puppet around? Do you have it? And I was like, oh yeah. Oh, damn. So I brought a puppet. And the puppet was like, describing what needs to be done with this whole science project properly. And the whole class was entertained. And it saved the project, let me tell you. My
There you
puppet saved
go.
the
There you go.
project.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
yeah, like, yeah, just those skits and stuff. Yeah, just like, I think it brings like more clarity because people are listening and they're not falling asleep after the 10th presentation in class.
yeah. Sorry, I was going to interrupt. That's when you bring something visual, entertainment, you put some comedy behind it too. I think it's more attractive to people and
Yeah.
they pay attention more. And so I understand what you're saying because I too, like you, I'd like drama in high school and there's just a feeling it gets. Some people don't like it.
Yeah.
But it's the feeling. And I'm glad you did that puppet thing. You know what I mean? If we had phones back then, that would have been recorded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I know. I wish I
Yeah.
still had that puppet. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
mentioned two things here, right? You mentioned much music.
Yeah.
and you mentioned MTV Canada. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience working?
Rest in peace, Much Music, MTV
Oh
Canada.
man, tell it. Yeah.
But yeah, so my experience was basically super fan of watching Much Music, watching the music videos, and I've always wanted to be like a VJ. I was just like, oh my gosh, they're like VJ, like that's me, like even like on MTV, I was just like, oh, I could do that. Like I could, interview these celebrities and just be myself with them. And I know a lot of the entertainment details and like all, so I was just like, I've always wanted to do that. I love music. I love music videos. I love dancing. So I was just a huge super fan of Much Music, and I'm just always outside, like Queen Street, like looking at the building, and I was just like, oh, one day. And then like they before the VJ search, there was a contest called Much Takeover, and so I applied for that. Did a whole like funny like video, like throwing some videos, and I saw a few people got selected, so I was like, oh, they didn't pick me. And then finally, I got a call from Much Music. They're like, yeah, we want you for like this week's Much Takeover. You're going to be coming, and you're going to be a VJ for a day. And some of the VJs, like the big VJs, the legendary VJs, like George Strombolopoulos,
Yeah.
Rick Campanelli,
Yeah.
uh, Rick the Tenth, Namageni, and everybody was just like there to helping me, supporting me, and I was just like, wow, I'm in like the space. And I remember even like while I was doing like the training for like the VJ for a day, like I see like Chingy, remember Chingy? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
he's like walking in the studio there, and I was just like, oh my God, is this how it is like to be a
Yeah.
VJ? But yeah, that was such a memorable experience. And then MTV, so I got to cover a few Much Music Video Awards, which
Mhm.
was totally entertaining. That's where you saw the Kim Kardashian picture,
Yes.
uh, where nobody really knew Kim.
Yeah.
Keeping up with the Kardashians was just, I think it was like season 2 or 3, and Kim was just standing there. And then
Mhm.
I was like, my cousin got me on the show, and I was just like, I was like, I don't know about this show, man. I don't know. And then I was just like, okay, it's kind of like, it's fun to watch. And then she was just standing there, and I was like, Kim, like, can we talk? Like, can we, like, like, and then she's like, sure, sure. And then everyone's like, who's that? And I was like, it's Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Like, but it's
Yeah.
just like crazy how times have evolved and like where she is now. And it's just, yeah, and like she not only have times changed, like her appearance has changed as well.
Yo,
So, shout out to Kim. And then I remember, yeah, I remember Bieber there. Bieber was there, and like I was trying to talk to Bieber, and then they're like, "Don't even think about it." And I was like, "All right, okay, like, all right there." But MTV, I loved watching, uh, Dan and Jesse,
oh
huge fan of
yeah.
the after show. So then they got me on a few of the after show programs there, so we could talk about like what's
Mhm.
going on in the media. So I was grateful for that opportunity as well. So
Yeah, so rewind for a minute because I remember when I started doing comedy and then I seen people that I seen on TV, like
yeah,
Russell Peters and some of the American comics. I was
yeah,
like, my first time seeing them, I was like in awe, right?
yeah,
Then you
yeah,
get used to it. So
yeah.
you're telling me when you saw Chingy and certain people,
Yeah.
how was that feeling when you see someone that you've watched on TV or you heard their music? Were you like really overwhelmed at the time?
Yeah, I was overwhelmed in the beginning. I was just like, wow, like whoa, but like when you talk to them after, it's just like they seem like they're like normal. And I think they like when you're more like down to earth and you're not like
Yeah,
you're not like a groupie, and you're just like regular, you're chill, you just want to get to know them,
yeah.
just as I would want to get to know anybody, like just like how I'm getting to know you. Like that's how I was with these like people that I met like in the celebrity world. Even like when Paris Hilton, like she was like the icon in the 2000s, and I was just like, oh, holy smokes, I'm like watching Paris, trying to like, my bestie and I, who was on my cousin, she was on Amazing Race with me. Like
Mhm.
we were like the Paris and Nicole, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Just to see Paris and like her being humble and just like stop for me only when everybody like ET, everybody's like hunting and like stop, and she's like stopping for me. I was like, oh, Paris, what? Like, you know what I mean? I was just
yeah.
like, yeah, and just even seeing like the celebrities like Tori Spelling and Jason
Jason
Priestley. I
Priestley.
was
Yeah.
just like, whoa, these are people I grew up watching, and but like just down to earth, like. And then going to concerts. I did some backstage stuff for concerts as well, covering concerts and seeing Nas there, and I was like, oh my
What?
gosh, it's Nas, and like, and then I was like trying to talk to him, and then his security's like, no. And then Nas is like, let her through. And I was just like, whoa, okay. Like, and then somehow I got on stage with Nas and I'm like dancing.
What?
And my coworker's like, this is Rock the Bells.
Yeah.
That it was like a bunch of like hip hop artists came, and my coworker's like, "Where's Michelle?"
Yeah.
And then his buddy was like, "Isn't that her on stage dancing?" And he's like, "Of course, it's only." And like, yeah, even like the opportunities, like even Sean Paul and stuff. And I was just like, when he was like looking at my kicks, and he's like, "Yo, I like your shoes." I was like, Sean Paul just liked my kick, like, yo.
Yeah.
But like, it's just at the end of the day, it's just like I just love having those unique experiences and just seeing that they're down to earth. And I think the saddest one was seeing Aaron Carter.
Oh
Um,
wow. Yeah.
because I think he was a little out of it at the Much Music Video Awards when I went.
Yeah.
And it was just sad to see because he was just like, I felt like people around him at that time were like using him, and he was just a little spaced out. I don't know what he was on, but
Yeah.
it was just like, he was just like, I was trying to talk to him and he's just like, hey, like, I just like sad to see, and like sad to see what the outcome was, So rest in peace,
Rest in
Aaron
peace,
Carter.
Aaron. Yeah.
But I think the most fangirl that I've ever gotten was it's shocking, but like Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys.
Right. Right.
Because this guy, like, I'm here having the posters all over my wall,
Yeah.
you know, kissing Nick Carter's poster. And my brother's like, "What are you doing? You're weird."
Yeah.
And then from dreaming about Nick Carter to like one day winning a contest to not only go to the CNE, the exhibition, but
Mhm.
also to see Nick Carter perform, like a private performance. And I was just like, wow, like just to see like him in person. And then talking to him, and then him holding me like this. And then my friends are like, "Who's that?" Like, I was like, "That's Nick Carter." They're like, "Is that your new man?" And I was like, "No, man, he's just chill like that." I was just like, it's crazy how life works from like on your bed daydreaming about your, childhood crush to like meeting them, and like, it's just incredible. Yeah, I think that was the biggest fangirl moment.
Yeah. See, so we might revisit this stuff again because I have a list of things to ask you, and I
Yeah.
want you to take your time and tell me about that experience.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you touched on it because I was wondering about the Kim Kardashian. I
Yeah.
saw you with Sean Paul.
Yeah.
I saw you with Dwight Drum, like a lot of people from City TV and Much Music. But
Yeah.
we're gonna get into it in a minute, and I need
Yeah.
to see if I could pick your brain and go through it. And then, of course, for the 90210 fans, which I'll be posting on that page, I got to hear about certain things and get your
Yeah.
experience growing up with the show. But
Yeah.
this is the time where I'm going to ask you
Yeah.
the would you rather question, right?
Okay.
This is
Hey.
going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So, would you rather visit your younger self and have them, and you give them advice for the future? Or would you rather visit your older self? So you at this present visit your older self and have them give you advice for what's going on right now.
I think I would visit my younger self and give my younger self some advice about the future.
Mhm. Can you go on depth and let me know why? I want to see if
Just to like warn myself about certain people. Just watch out for certain people who are gonna use you. Guard your heart. Just yeah, just basically most of that. Like
yeah,
watch out for this world's scary. Just watch out for people who are gonna use you. So I think that's my younger self.
yeah. Thanks for sharing that because
Yeah.
it's nice for me when I ask that question to see the rationale behind when people choose their younger self versus their older self. And I've heard so many now, and I still like hearing it to this day. And
Yeah.
that's one of the ones that I hear. It's teaching your younger self lessons because
Yes.
it's kind of like you don't want your older self to go through the experiences. Some people
Exactly.
say, "Oh, I wouldn't be who I am today."
Yeah.
But there are some lessons that I think that we'd all like to teach our younger self so we didn't have to
Yeah.
experience them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now whether my guest chose younger or older, this is about your older self, and these are four questions.
Okay.
What would you tell your younger self about money?
What would I tell my younger self about money? Ugh, I've definitely learned the money lesson for sure. Once I got my first part-time job, um, I was just like spending money aimlessly, you know, going to those clubs and like, and I'm just like, what's the point of this? Like, and like spending money aimlessly, going to those bars, all that stuff, and spending money on drinks. And like, I don't even like drinking. And like, you know what I mean? But like back then, I think I was doing it like out of social
Yeah.
pressures.
Yeah.
Just try to like fit in and stuff. And I'm like, I don't like this feeling that I'm getting after drinking. I don't like it. I'm just a fun girl naturally.
Mhm.
So I don't know why I'm doing this, but like just the amount of money spending and like going overdraft in the bank, and I'm just like, holy smokes, where did the money go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just yeah, like save up. And
Yeah.
I think even like I did go on a few trips, but I felt like I didn't need to go to the same country like all the time. Like I wish
Mhm.
I explored more other like places. Like I went to France like several times because I'm from there, but like, I could have saved some money to go to other countries as well.
Yeah.
And like maybe Jerusalem, I don't know. But yeah, just like even just like the partying stuff, like unnecessary, spending money on junk food, all that stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, the regrets that I have. Yeah.
Next thing, what would you tell your younger self about friends?
What I would tell my younger self about friends. I really value friendships, and I'm like loyal to the soil. But of course, like throughout, like even growing up, you could the I've had experiences like with betrayal of friendships, and so it's just like when growing up, especially as an immigrant to Canada, you're always like trying to fit in.
Hmm.
So it's like people don't really understand like what's this skin color? Where are you from? When I first came to Canada, people were like calling me a Paki, and I'm like, huh? I'm Sri Lankan.
Yeah.
What? Like, so, so there was a lot of racism, there was a lot of bullying I experienced, especially in elementary school.
Hmm.
But there were still like, what's silly is that a lot of the people who were bullying, they're also people of color. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
you're also immigrants.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's going on? And there was also even people from my ethnic community who were bullying me, and like who were telling other people to, like, yeah, call her a Paki. And I'm like, but is this internal racism? Because you're also Tamil. You're also, so I had my mom meet that girl's mom and was like, excuse me, honey, talk to your daughter because she ain't talking. And I'm like, I guess that's where I got my lip from because
Yeah.
like, like that's right. So that's why I also stand up because my mom was standing up for me. So I was just like, but yeah. So there were betrayals of friendships as well in elementary school. People who, let's say, people who came to school who were new, and then they had no one. But and I'm that social butter, like, hey, I'll take you under my wing. I'll show you around. But then once they got like the attention of other people, they're just like, we don't need you anymore, I don't need you anymore, kind of like that, kind of those kind of friendships. Friendships like they see that, oh, like, oh, Michelle has met these people, like, these celebrities, is like
Yeah.
use her to like, see like, who we
Hmm.
can, how we can also get our foot in the door. And so I'm just like looking for people like who generally are just real themselves, who open up. I always look to see who opens up about their lives. And
Yeah.
that's when I start to open up about my life and who's there for me. Like when I got into a car accident and my car was a total loss, who was there for me? Like my church friends, they would come from like Stouffville and pick me up in Scarborough
Wow.
and take my mom and I grocery shopping. And when like some people who I've known for years were like, can't you take the bus?
Hmm.
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
Yo, yo,
Yeah.
I thought you were my loyal friend. Like, you want me to take the bus back? Like, I don't mind. I've been taking the bus to TTC, but like, like hard times like these, like, they're like, I'll give you a bag to carry on the bus. And I'm like, yo, fam, for real?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, it's hard in this world. You don't know who's genuine or not. But I just I continuously pray for genuine relationships and connections, like, and for people not to use me because I'm like, I definitely am real, buddy.
Mhm.
Like, and I definitely really want to be your friend, and I will always be there for you. So, but yeah, and there have been people even from my elementary school, like since kindergarten, who yeah, I felt that betrayal, so it's sad. So yeah,
Yeah. So you would warn your younger self just to
watch
watch
out,
out
just
then, right?
always be sus, always be
Yeah,
sus.
yeah.
Like, that's why I'm like sus now, like, because I've been through these, like, like sketchy relationships, that's why I'm always just like, what you about, what do
Yeah.
you got, what's up, like, why do you want to know my last name, like, what,
Yeah,
why do you
of
want
course.
why do you want to know where I live, like, you can meet me there, like.
Yeah.
I'm just like screening people now.
Okay. That's two down, two more to go. My next question is, I don't know if you want to share, but my next question is, what would you tell your younger self about family?
Yeah, I think, yeah, you're talking about my dad who died
Yeah.
December 31st, 2020. Um,
2020. Yeah.
yeah. So younger self, to be honest, I didn't even think about death when I was a kid, or like, I would just like, there wasn't that much death that was like in the core, like, surrounding of me. So
Mhm.
I'm just like, oh, another old person died. So, like, oh, someone, oh, and even when like my grandma died, I was like, oh, that's sad. But like, we didn't have that like close connection, that I was
Connection.
like,
Yeah.
she's old, I guess she's meant to die. But then, like, when I think the first experience of death in the family was when my cousin died in Sri Lanka,
Mhm.
and she just suddenly died. And it's like I went there to Sri Lanka for the first time, and like I saw her, and like, to never see her again. Like, yeah. I think the greatest hit came when I lost my father during the pandemic. I didn't think that was going to happen at all, because I was just like living a carefree life.
Mhm.
And so when I was like, when we saw that people were dying during the pandemic, I didn't think like my dad would like leave so soon.
Mhm.
And yeah, like, because I don't know, he wanted to see more, like, so much more happen for me. Like, he wanted to see my wedding and everything. So I was just like shocked that, like, I had a lot of questions about my faith at that time, and like, God, like, why did this happen? So I was just like, why is this happening? And I was questioning my faith, and just, yeah, stop praying for a bit and all that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that because I know it's hard to talk about these things.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes I think that if someone listens or watches this, it will help them out too. And I'm sure you've experienced that hearing people that had lost
Yeah.
in their lives and it helps. And I just appreciate you sharing that. It's hard to open up about that. And I just want to know, you had that support system or were you trying to be the rock for your mom?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely the rock for my mom.
Yeah.
Um, and there have been like support system in the church community,
Yeah.
my church friends and stuff, but it's just not the same as your core family.
Yeah.
So it's me being like the boss woman for my family now. Suddenly I went from like just this carefree girl to like weird, when did I have to become the boss or the head of the household?
Yeah.
So
Rest in peace to
yeah.
your father. Can you just say his name on the podcast?
Peter Pedro, which means Pedro, Peter.
Oh, really? That's amazing though. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, once again, thanks for sharing that. I didn't mean to
Yeah.
do this to you. Hey,
Oh,
didn't mean to do this to you.
oh no.
Um, the last question, Mishi, is what would you tell your younger self about love?
Ooh, love. Um, well, I think I touched on it a little bit, but like to guard your heart.
Mhm,
Um, no, just don't settle.
mhm,
Definitely, I didn't settle. But like, just guard your heart. No, don't force love. Don't yeah, don't force it. Let the if like love as in like family love, yes, love one another as God has loved everybody. But like when it comes to relationship love, like never force it. When you don't feel it, tap out. You know what I
mhm.
mean? Like and just I do wear my heart on my sleeve and I am a very open book person, but like just just guard your heart. Yeah,
Yeah,
from yeah, to
yeah,
save your the stress.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's good advice. That's good advice.
Yeah, yeah. Just like let the guy pursue you, ladies. Let the guys pursue you. Don't don't lose that don't let them lose that chivalry. Don't let it be dead. Let them be like that man and let them pursue you. Don't feel like you need to, just, stoop down. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the South Asian community, in the South Asian culture, sometimes like we're like it's innate in us to not talk about like love
Mhm,
and it's in relationships and like growing up I had like cousins and stuff hide their relationships, hide their, boyfriends and stuff. And we're also forced into arranged marriages,
mhm,
but it's like so important to have your voice and know who you are as a woman or as a person and just stand up for yourself, stand up for your rights and stand up for what you believe in. Then if you don't want to marry someone that you don't feel like you love, then don't do it. So that's how we were like taught in our community, in our culture. But like a lot of people are breaking those social norms and they are choosing to marry who they love.
mhm.
So, yeah, I just wanted to add that about the love aspect as well in our community. Yeah.
Okay, the last thing I'm gonna do now, I have a list. Like I said, I went to your IG page. I have
Yeah.
a list of things, and I just
Yeah.
want you to remind me, not remind me,
Yeah.
go back in time because a lot of them
Yeah.
are the old things, right? But
Yeah.
share your experience with me and how you felt at the time and what it meant to you. And
Yeah.
one of the things is about Amazing Race Canada. But I'm
Yeah.
just gonna randomly pick some of the things.
Yeah.
So I seen a picture with you and Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
Tell
Snoop
me about that.
Dogg.
Tell me about
No.
that.
Bow wow wow yippee yo. But yeah, no, Snoop Dogg, wow. Like that was like another wild night out where I was just like, yo, Snoop's in town. I gotta go see him at the club.
Mhm.
I think it was Circa nightclub. I'm not sure if you remember that
Yeah, I
club.
remember, sir. Yeah.
So I was just like, I was interning at Queen's Park as a summer intern, and I was just like, "Yo, Snoop's coming." I actually asked my supervisor. I was like, "She's pretty chill." And I was like, "Yo, can I sleep over at your house? Snoop Dogg's in town, and I really don't want to go back to Scarborough." And
Mhm.
she's like, "Oh man, I don't even want to have any questions." Like, yes, you could.
Yeah.
So I just went to the club there and just saw my brother grew up listening to Snoop Dogg and like I got into Snoop Dogg through my brother, like listening to his tracks. I love the gangster side of Snoop. He's a little different now with the Martha Stewart stuff, but
Yeah.
like, hey, kudos to him, like, just, trying to market himself. But yeah, I love the gangster side. Yeah, as I mentioned, I'm also a sensitive gangster,
There
so
you
I
go.
had to go see Snoop Dogg and just yeah, do one for my brother, step it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
And he's
chop
just
it up with
mad
him?
chill.
Did you
Mad
chop it
chill.
up? You chopped it up with
Yeah.
him, asked him a
Yeah.
few questions?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Mad chill, mad vibes. And that was not the first time I saw him he came twice. And then somehow we ran into each other and I was just like the second time I was just like I didn't know what to say. So I was just like, it's Snoop. And then he was just like, okay, are you gonna say something or not? So I was just that was an awkward second encounter, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next
Yeah.
on the list. Um, Oh, Shahrukh
Shah
Khan.
Rukh Khan, Shah Rukh Khan,
Shah Rukh
Bollywood
Khan.
superstar. Yeah,
Yes,
Shah
how
Rukh
was that? Yo, some of these Bollywood stars, the followings that they have in the
Khan. Oh my God.
millions is crazy. How was it meeting him and where did that take place?
Oh yes, so that was at the IFA Awards a few years ago, like almost 10 years ago, I believe. And he's just so genuine and humble. And he's like such a amazing Bollywood actor and an icon, especially in the South Asian community. That I was doing some backstage work as well at the IFA Awards, covering the event, and some of the people like they thought I was one of the like the Bollywood
Yeah.
actresses. Hey, 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 hey.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, and then like I made friends with one of the security guards, and he's like, "Yo, just chill up back here." I'm like, "Yo, I really want a picture with Shah Rukh Khan, bro. He's a legend in my community." He's like, "Yo, just chill back here." And then after I was just like, Shah Rukh, like, can I like get a picture with you? He's like, "Hold on." He's so professional. He's like, "I'm memorizing some lines," because he was like the MC or the presenter of that award show. He's
Mhm.
like, "But I'll be back." So he was like just doing his work, and then finally after like he did his stuff, he came up to me and he was just like, "All right, I'm ready for that picture and stuff now." And I'm just like, wow, he's so humble. And like everyone, like his bodyguards are like, "What's going on? Don't stay away from him." And then I was just like, "Yo, Shahrukh asked, like so." And then yeah, but he's such an iconic picture, such an iconic moment. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. You
Yeah.
ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Were you pictured with paper planes MIA?
Ah, gang, gang, gang.
Yo, tell me about
Yeah.
that. That looks like an old picture too.
Oh yeah, that was okay. First we met at Ryerson, TMU, at the parade picnic. Yeah. So they always bring out, artists like they brought out Cardinal Official one time and then they brought like MIA and I was like, I gotta go see my Tamil sister, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And it was the parade and picnic. You know how Frosh Week is. It's like, yeah, I was just, I had a little bit too much and that I didn't post that picture. It's somewhere on my blog or something, but like I'm just like putting in her in a headlock and I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, am I Michelle? But yeah, but then that one that you saw that I posted was at her concert, one of her concerts, and it was after her concert, and like somehow we're like backstage and they're like it was like my cousin and I who was on Amazing Race, and they're like, what are these girls, like who are these girls? It's like they probably thought we were her sister too,
Yeah,
MIA
yeah.
sister.
Yeah.
So we're like, it's okay, man. Don't say anything. We might get in trouble with MIA. So like, just let these girls be. So that's when, yeah. But it was just like an iconic moment to meet her because she's also like legendary in our community as well. And she put Tamils on the map. She put everything that happened in Sri Lanka on the map, especially the genocide and everything, the war, the everything that's happened, the massacre, as you could say, that happened to our people. So she put that on the map and gave like history through her music, and yeah, it was very telling.
Yeah, respect on that one.
Yeah, respect to her for
Wow.
sure.
You ready for the next one?
Yeah,
I seen a more recent picture. I'm gonna go
yeah.
back and forth, but you're with Mayor Olivia Chow, and I believe that was at Desi Fest. Tell me about that experience and what were you doing at Desi Fest? Were you hosting or just attending?
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Like Daisy. I was even told like how to
That
say it.
yes,
Daisy.
Daisy,
Yeah,
Daisy,
Daisy.
Daisy.
Daisy
Yeah,
girls. Yeah.
yeah.
So basically, yeah, Daisy Fest. Big shout out to them. They're doing it up. Um, so they've been doing it for years.
Mhm,
And shout out to Sats as well, Sats B. And they made me. They had faith in me and made me their backstage reporter,
mhm.
so that was such an amazing experience to be at an event at, they changed the name now, but I will forever say Dundas Square, just like I say
Of
Skydome,
course, of course.
just
There
like
you go.
Skydome, Dundas Square. Okay. So, and Olivia Chow was back there. She always likes to do her little 1-2 step dance
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get involved in the culture. And, she didn't know some of the artists' name. Roach Killer. She said Roadkill.
yeah.
That's okay. She tried. She
Of
tried. So,
course, of
it was great
course.
dancing with her. I met her a few years ago at a decade ago at the Much Music Video Awards with her late husband. So it was great to see that, she was like side by side with her husband and now she's still strong and mayor of Toronto. And people like to make fun of her, but big ups to her, man. She's living it up. Carefree spirit, still doing it up. Women on the rise, especially women of color on the rise. Let's go. I love her,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be seeing her at the charity event, the basketball event as well. So gotta be dancing, maybe shooting some hoops with the mayor of Toronto, asking for the keys for the city.
There you
It's
go.
about time Michi gets keys to the city, yo. Locked in. We're locked in.
Yes. Yeah, and I saw you breaking it down with her in the video, man.
Yeah.
Dancing. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, speaking of dancing, so you like dance hall too, then, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sean Paul, tell me about
Yeah.
that
I
experience.
Sean Paul, man. It started off when I was an intern at Queen's Park, summer intern. Well, I rigged a contest because nobody else in the office listens to Shana Paul
Yeah.
but me. So when I knew that they were giving away tickets and having this contest for the interns, I was like to my supervisor, "You're rigging that contest for me. I'm going." Okay. So they were like, "Oh my gosh, it took forever to get your name out of the list," and then finally they're like, "Oh." Fun. So got to go, great seats. Then his videographer came and was just like filming us. And then my coworker was talking to him. And then I was like, "Who is that? Who is that?" And then she's just like, "That's Sean Paul's videographer." I was like, "Sean Paul's videographer just came to us and you let him go, girl. You need to like you don't, yeah, you don't know the tricks and the ways and the. So he came back and I was like, I put us three in a huddle. I was like, "What you gonna do now? Listen to
Yeah.
the game plan. You're gonna take us backstage to see Sean Paul." That's
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. That's what's
Yeah.
gonna happen right now. So yeah, long and behold, he took us. No one questioned us. Took us through the crowd. Took us backstage. He's like, "You gotta wait here." So in the waiting process, I see Akon. I was like, "Yo, is that Akon?" So I was like, "Akon." I went up to him and I was talking to him and I was like, "Yo, how about bringing me on stage and let me do a little dance?" And he's like, "No, no, no. There was a controversy that happened about like me on stage with another girl and like we're not doing that anymore." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. Okay.
So then finally, eventually, we went up the elevators and there was a party going on upstairs. Sean Paul and his crew, and then one of his boys from Time saw me, had a liking towards me. I wasn't interested, but I'm still
Yeah.
down to be friends.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still down to connect. And then but I was just like, and then that's how we kept in touch. And then every time Sean Paul came to Toronto, we all kept in touch and was hitting up the shows. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can link up like that, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is cool. I like hearing these stories.
Yeah.
Now, one more I want you to just go in depth about. Just
Yeah.
you mentioned her before,
Yeah.
but Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
icon in her own right.
Yeah.
How did that feel meeting Kim? I know it was years ago, so she's not to the status she was, but she was still
Yeah.
known. And I believe the Kardashians, Keeping Up the Kardashians was on at the time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how was that experience meeting Kim Kardashian?
Yeah. I think that picture was taken maybe like a year after Keeping Up came. 2009 was when I think to Keeping Up with the Kardashians came out, aired or premiered. And then the next year she's at the award show, Much Music Video Awards. And I could tell, I was like, "Oh, Kim looks a little different.
Yeah.
Kim looks a little different." But, I still recognize her, but no one
Yes.
else seems to be recognizing Kim Kardashian. So I was just like, she was just quiet. She was just on her phone, quiet, just like wondering what's her next move, where to go next. So I was just like, "Kim, what's up?" Like, holler. And like, we started talking and everybody's like, "Who's that?" I was like, "It's Kim Kardashian, man." Like, so she was so sweet and humble, and big ups to her for doing what she's doing now, with in the law and becoming a lawyer. Hopefully, she passes that
Oh
bar. I'm
yeah.
not sure what the update is, but she's been through stuff. I know, like the whole stuff, how she rose to fame, but
Mhm.
gotta have grace on people, and
Yeah. Yo,
look at the
is
better
she?
people.
She looks like she's really short. Like in
Yeah,
person, she is
yeah,
short,
yeah.
right?
I'm the
Yeah.
CN Tower. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm taller than everybody, honestly. Like so compared to me, yeah, yeah, she's way shorter, but she had the heels on. She had the nice heels on. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. The last thing I'm going to talk about is 90210,
Yeah.
but I want to actually talk about some of the work that you do in the community. So
Yeah.
there's a couple of things I wanted to ask you about. So if you could just talk about it. But
Sure.
first, our listeners my listeners are all over. I'm
Yeah.
talking the States, UK, India, and we mentioned Regent Park and
Yes.
the revitalization of it.
Yeah.
But do you think you could summarize to people what Regent Park was like when we were growing up and how it changed now?
But, Regent Park, big ups. It's the first, one of the first like communities other than Scarborough who like took me and embraced me. Like when I worked in Regent Park, I was afraid before I stepped, foot, and like because people are like all these like, stereotypes and all these stories about gang violence, shootings, and all that. But I, as a social worker, like I was studying to be a social worker, I was just like, and that's where I did my placement in the community of Regent Park.
Mhm,
Just it was just incredible to see what it was to what it is now. Like, I mean, of course, there's still gun violence, and after I left as well, even after the revitalization, there have been stories of violence in the community. And even people from my community as well, who have been intertwined in the violence.
mhm,
But everywhere I was walking from school to school, I was working in different schools and also Regent Park Focus Youth Media Arts Center, where I worked as a youth outreach worker. It's like such a close-knit community where you walk and people are like, "Hey, it's Michelle." Hey. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So, yeah, and people are always looking out for you, in the community, like, oh, we have an opportunity for you in this, and they're just like so many. They just want the children growing up in that community to thrive, especially immigrants. They're trying to provide resources for them the best that they can do.
Mm,
And Yeah, they're moving on up. Even though it's still a mixed income community, there still needs to be a lot of attention. And shout out to people like Mustafa Ahmed, who, went from doing poetry in Regent Park in his small house to now blowing up all over the world internationally, and, for people to hear his voice. And Yeah, so shout out to them and like all the kids I even took to the Raptors game for the first time as well. And to see those smiles and excitement on their faces, and for people like Nav Bhatia to give me that opportunity. I'm so grateful for all those people, who want the best for the kids in the Regent Park, for the children and youth.
oh, amazing. Thanks for sharing that. You ready for
Yeah.
the next one? So
Yeah.
you do some amazing things. So I work for Medical Alert, right? And we have a program
Mhm.
for autistic people on the spectrum,
Yeah.
autistic kids, and we
Yeah.
have a unique ID, a blue
Mhm.
and red ID that
Yeah.
signifies the person is on the spectrum. And
Yeah.
then I see you attended something, the South Asian Autism Awareness Center. Can
Yeah.
you tell me about that?
Yes. SAC, which has been around for years now. It's involves the South Asian community and children and parents who have children with autism. And they brought me along for their talent night where I was the MC, and they, let me sing. Um, so I sang a Tamil song, which was inspiring from a movie. And that movie also involved like autistic children, for that performance as well. And just seeing the struggles that the parents have to go through living with autistic children, the violence that some of them have to um, take on,
Mhm,
it's just heartbreaking. And some of them can't handle that, the violence and the pain, so that they have to move them to a different place where, so that the kids could be cared for as they grow older. But
mhm,
just the resources available at SAC is so amazing, and the volunteers are incredible. They have walkathons, fun fairs, and all that, and just like paint night for these children. These kids are doing incredible artwork, paint night,
yeah.
and sports. They're involved in sports. They're selling their paint. They're working in different, places. People are giving them opportunities to work. So that's training them to for that to work in these job forces as well. So it was an incredible opportunity to be part of their organization, and it was even I was even involved in their fundraiser for
Yes.
their annual volleyball tournament as
Yeah.
well. So that was amazing to to raise money for the South Asian Autistic Center and play volleyball as well.
Amazing. Two
Yeah.
things. Two things you liked, volleyball and
Yeah.
helping people. Love it.
Exactly.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, the last thing here I have that I want to ask you about. UMC, MC Mishi. It says the 16th annual Canadian Tamil Youth Development Center Award. Like, what was that about now?
Yes, Can Tide. It's where I volunteered as well. It's a community center for the kids in children and youth in Scarborough, and they're amazing. And they provide a safe space for children and youth in the Tamil community who have been facing a lot of struggles, whether it's, being a new immigrant, or whether it's facing abuse in the household, or just abuse in certain relationships that they may have been in. Just a safe place where they can use the arts as well
Mhm.
to speak out about what they're facing and their experiences. So there's a dance program there that people let out what they have at these different outlets, so that they can also share with other people, other kids that are going through the same thing as well. And there are youth mentors there, and they have this award night to appreciate the kids and the volunteers of like everything that they're doing. There's artists who have come out of that program. They have a studio there and everything. So um, I'm so grateful that they chose me as an MC, because seeing all the accomplishments that these kids are doing, it inspires me to this day as well to just keep going and push those limits, and chase after your dreams, and don't let anybody, because of your skin color, your ethnic group, or identity, isolate you, and you could do whatever you can accomplish and put your mind to. And just being at Cantide, you're surrounded by people who motivate you, and yeah, they can keep encouraging you. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
wait, before I go on to the next one, do you do motivational speaking? Because this is amazing how everything is tying in. We
yeah,
first started talking about you in school, elementary
yeah,
school, high
yeah,
school, and you had that voice and the whole drama part of it, acting and making things more, I like to use the word, people making people more attentive. When you go back to the puppet thing you're
yeah,
talking about, right? So it's funny how you use all your experiences and it takes you to a point and you don't realize how those past experiences is helping you today. Everything you're doing with the kids, like
yeah.
I just love it. So do you do the mentoring and public speaking and that kind of stuff too?
Yeah, exactly. From school to school, whatever schools are open to have me speaking, I speak in there as well. Even as a social worker, you do go from school to school to speak about issues such as bullying.
Mhm.
Um, and next month, I am speaking as a guest speaker at a girls, young kids empowering event, which I'll be posting soon more information about. So I think it's at the CIBC Square. I'm not just sure about that location, but yeah, so inspiring young women as well, because you've been through those experiences, you've been through those hurdles in life, you've been through those storms, you've been through grief, and you've been through, even abuse and all of that, and you just want to share your experiences in that. Like, don't let anyone dim your light,
Mhm.
and you have to, come out of the darkness, and you got to keep shining, and you got to keep thriving. And my faith also played a part in that. But yeah, so I tie in my faith as well, because if without it, like, I just be like, in a corner somewhere crying all the time, and just, you know, um, just being hard on myself. But yeah, don't let anyone belittle you, and just I keep trying to encourage them. I'm an ally for these young girls, and a voice for the voiceless, and a supporter for sure.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
You were on three Three. What do we call them here? Game, kind of game
Game,
shows,
yeah,
right?
game show. Yeah,
Yeah.
game
So
shows. Yeah.
so here's the question I have for you. Even though an amazing race, I was a little bit disappointed in you, Mish. You know what I mean? Like I
No,
was right. I
I
sat down with my wife and I'm like, okay, before I do the podcast, let me learn a little bit about Mish and see how many places she goes. And I was like, no way. First of all, what I'm going to ask you, you can tell me about your experience on
yeah,
Amazing Race,
yeah, yeah,
but what was harder, Amazing Race, being on your lifelong dream, probably to be on Family Feud? You watched that as a
yeah,
kid,
yeah, yeah.
and then is it the Generation? What do you call the last
Battle
one?
of the
With
Generations.
Lily Singh. So,
Yeah.
which one was harder? And tell me about just a brief experience about all three.
So basically, the reason why I even want to do these game shows, I love game shows. I've
Yeah.
been watching game shows since different game shows since I was a kid with my family. That's what brought our family together as one. You know, but I do it because I want to break barriers, especially in TV, in the media. You don't
Mhm.
see a lot of now you see it, but like you don't see my skin tone, my ethnic group on TV a lot. You know, growing up, as I mentioned, I've wanted to be on TV since I was a kid. But my mom would come with me to different agencies, talent agencies, but like they just weren't, they just didn't need. The brown
Mhm.
girl, they
Yeah.
didn't want this brown girls. And if they did have brown girls, there would be that tokenism, just so we put that one brown girl um, so that's why I want to go on these shows, just not for just for also for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And I love competing. It's in my nature to compete, but also to break barriers, to break those social norms and those stereotypes, and see for young girls, who aspire to be on TV, to see me and be like, hey, that girl looks like me. She's also like Tama, like me, she has the same, same aspirations as I do. She's been through a lot of struggles like I did, and if she could do it, I could do it. So that's why I go on these shows, and also to meet like people in all walks of life, and to hear about their life stories and their history, and to make those connections and friendships. And Family Feud, I would watch it growing up, with my
Yeah.
family. The American version, then the Canadian version came along. I was like, I got to do this. And then once my cousin, once the producers reached out to my cousin, I was just like, yes, I'm on board, and it was just all so fast. And we also got to see Cedric and Tyshawn.
Yes.
So bad we didn't get to compete. Ty thinks that they would have beat us, but yeah, But we got every time I go on these shows, I feel like it's like we somehow get like this, like I don't know what it is. Like, even like the question that we got on Family Feud, the last question is just like, dancing, man. The dancing one killed us because, like, that's what the answer was. And amazing Battle of the Generations. I did that next, and I studied hard because like before Battle of the Generations, I did another show on CTV called Pop Quiz, and
Yeah.
it's just like, let's get this girl out. Like, it's just like, why do they want me out so bad? you know? But it's just like, I'm the entertainment, fam.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Battle of the Generation, I watched and I was like, all right, I could do this, I could do this. And plus I want to meet Lily Singh because everybody says we look alike. So I was just like, here's the opportunity to meet an icon, who inspired like, people in my community, and also like, she broke the standards and the stereotypes, and she got herself being herself on TV. So she's such an inspiration, so that was great. A lot of pressure. I felt like I was in a very put in with a competitive group, and even the producers said that you're with a lot of competitive people, but they were like, we told them you're competitive too.
Mhm.
So that was great. And like, I didn't think I would get the sports question. That was awesome to get that. But yeah, and then Amazing Race, which was like, wow, like one of the most watched show on, Canadian television. Is just like, wow, such, we worked so hard for that and trained so hard for that, and doing it with my cousin, it was amazing. Um, but like when you're on it, like the pressure is just
Yeah.
like, woo! And it's just like, I thought I was like fit, but like I was just like, there's just a lot of like not just physical but mental like
Right.
abilities that you have to have. And like one thing I do regret, and I told them as well, is just like not believing in myself. Like even with the dance routine, I could have done that dance routine, and I
Yeah.
was like, yo, I'm the dancer, fam. Like, why didn't I just like just tell my cousin, yo, sit down. Like,
Mhm.
I got this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I got this. But I felt like also even like, it tests your relationships as well. And thankfully we have 20 years strong, like over 20 years, like, we're fam, so like, but like at the end of the day, it's just like, you know, uh, you got to believe in yourself,
Right.
and even if you do let even if you don't get it on the first try, it's okay to make that mistake, because everybody like doesn't get it on the first try sometimes. So that's one thing I was just like, oh man, like I should have did that dancing part on the on the
Yeah.
show. But I was disappointed. Even my mom was like, girl, what are you doing? You're the dancer, like, what were you?
Yeah.
And like, and the thing with me is it's not just hip hop dance. I could do the country, I could do that, and I could pick it up. But it's just, yeah. And had an amazing partner. It's just wasn't just like even with
Yeah, I
like if
know.
you watch the episode, it's just like,
Yeah, I
yes,
saw it. I saw it.
we, but it's like also like questionable moments.
Mhm.
So it's just like, I don't want to say too much. You could watch you if you watch it, the questionable moments.
Mhm.
But it's just like, how come there's no like, fear, yeah, it's just it's hard, like, yeah.
How was it meeting because I'm sure you met Dimitri and Ika,
I
right?
yeah, so like we met them, like, oh my gosh, even before the, like, I'm a huge Big Brother fan.
Mhm.
um uh and yes, what, like I was in the gym and I was like, we're training in the gym, and I see like Dimitri, but I'm like, where's Ika? Is like, is Ika not his partner for the show? Like, so I didn't see. And then like finally, like, uh we were training, and then I finally see Ika, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got it. We can't talk because we're on cold ice, but we've the eyes and the gestures and stuff, and like, I know you,
Yeah, yeah.
girl, I know you, girl. And there was one moment, if you saw in the race, where like they were behind us, so I was just like, yo, like I hope they don't get out, but it's like the race isn't over, and you never, it's just unexpected what will happen on the race. And
Yeah.
uh sadly we were the ones who were out. But yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like, dang.
It's nice that you experienced that though.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for sharing all that.
Yeah.
Now, the last thing I want to talk about before I get into the real talk question is the reason I'm here with you because you touched on it before with Tori Spelling
Yeah.
and Jason Priestley, but I want to know again how it was meeting them. But how did it feel? Because you're a 90210 fan like myself,
Yeah.
and people know they follow my page.
Uh,
I,
you
I, I,
do?
yeah, there's just no, not the stars.
Oh,
That's the goal, right? I'm trying to
yeah.
get there. But when I started, I remember the page was growing 100, 200 followers. When I got to 500, I was like, oh, it's not what I expected, but I'm documenting from season one all the way. I'm gonna finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm at 20,000, 22,000 followers now.
Yeah.
And the dialogue back and forth, it's just amazing to see. And that's
Yeah.
how we started interacting. Now, tell me how it was being a little youth watching 90210 to actually sitting with Tori Spelling, Jason Priestley. So you were a
Um,
fan from beginning, right?
oh yeah, from the beginning. My mom even knows it. Let me tell you, I'm putting on these, like, I'm playing a game with my mom where I'm putting on different theme songs,
Mhm.
like for like, from like sitcoms and TV shows. And like when I put on 90210, she already knew. She's like 90210.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, Brandon, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean? So she's like, Dylan, oh, poor Dylan, and all this stuff like that. Like, and I told her, I'm like, now Brenda too, rest in peace.
Yeah.
But yeah, like growing up, I was just like, first of all, I was just like, I don't even know how my parents let me watch this show.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, oh, like, what are you watching here? Wasn't she with sleeping with this person? Now she's with this person, and what's going on here? Like, oh my gosh, it's like, isn't that her boyfriend now? He's with this, like, you, like,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's like, I don't know, I just love that, like, watching it. I love the, like, the storytelling of the friendship, and the drama. I don't know, it's just like, it's something about the drama, and like,
Mhm.
the it's like seeing the backstabbing, like the betrayal of, like, Dylan with Kelly and Brenda, and like, and I had the hugest crush on, yeah, the biggest crush on Jason Priestley, like
Mhm.
Brandon. But
Yeah.
then, maturing is when you realize it was Luke Perry all along
Yeah.
who was like, even David Silver.
Yeah.
David Silver. I had a crush on David Silver too. I was like, dang, because not growing up, not a lot of people were into David Silver.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, does not anybody not see he's cute? Like, like
Well,
he's handsome.
he grew into his look though, right? When he was the
Yeah.
little kid on the show, and then all of a sudden he's tall as Luke
Yeah,
Perry, right? So it's
exactly. Because
yeah, yeah.
I was like, he's cute too, like, But yeah, like we had like my best friend, she got the Brandon doll, and so I was just like, oh my gosh, so cool, like, And then just watching it, like, just getting like obsessed with the show, and I was just like getting all the inside details, like I got to know everything about it. I'm like, oh yeah, Donna's dad's like Mr. Spelling, like, and
Yeah.
uh, David and Donna dated in real life, and like, and so did like Valerie. And Valerie, oh, I like her spicy character. Oh, Valerie, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, she brings the spice to, them, and yeah, just and then finally going. So let me tell you a story about Tori Spelling. Basically, it was the Much Music Video Awards, and she just got with her. I think they're still together. I'm not sure if she's still with Dean, like
Oh,
yeah,
you know
not
what?
sure.
I thought they split, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
she just got with him, and he's
Mhm.
Canadian, I believe, and he was he was married. He was married, and then all of a sudden, the talk around the award show was, oh my gosh, Tori Spelling's here with him, and like, what's her name? Dean's ex. She was on Traders. So
Yeah, I don't
his,
know. I don't
I
know.
forgot her name. Like
Hmm.
his wife, his ex-wife. She was on Traders Canada, I believe, last season.
Hmm.
And I was just, and it was just like, oh my gosh, they can't be in the same room. They can't be in the same room. And I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get all this information from my blog. This is like,
Yeah.
and I'm just like sitting down with Tori. She's chill. She's mad chill. And she's just like, Dean, take a picture of us. And like, I'm like, yo, my gosh, you're like a legend. Cause like, wow, like, but
So so it was
it-
surreal then, eh? You watching her on TV and then sitting next to
yeah,
her, right? Yeah.
exactly. Years later. And then like, and how she was so chill. But then I was just like, at the same time, I was like, I like you, but like you're the mistress. Like
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like you breaking up a marriage, girl. Like I don't like that, fam.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's not good. Like that's not cool. Like, you broke up a marriage and Canadian marriage. So I didn't like that part, but it was still cool seeing her. And then Jason Priestley, like
Yeah.
one of my childhood crushes. I was just like, wow, he's shorter than me. But like I was just like, it was at I believe the Gemini Awards or some Canadian award show.
Hmm.
And he was there, and I was just like, wow, like I can't believe it. Like it's Jason Priestley, and like, he's not like egotistical at all. He's so humble and he's so chill and he's always smiling.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was good chatting with him and vibing with him as well. And great to see that he supports Canadian talent. He was
Oh yeah.
there at a Canadian award show. So big ups to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in an accident.
You,
Like I know he does a lot of the racing, and I'm so glad that he survived and he's safe. Yeah.
I was just gonna tell you, do you remember when he got in that car accident? All I can remember is the emotion that Luke Perry
Mhm.
showed when he was
Yeah.
on Entertainment Tonight, and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
because
I know.
they were like brothers, right? So
Exactly. And then the whole ordeal with like Shannon Doherty and like all that stuff. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like guys, just make peace. Like, oh my gosh, like life's
yeah,
too short, Like clearly you see that. So it's just like, yeah.
yeah,
So well, yeah, I've always wanted to hang out at a place like the Peach Pit.
yeah, I know.
The closest we go, what is the closest we have is like the Markham Station that we have. Like, what is
Yeah.
that?
Oh man. Oh wait, you know what? Before I get into the real talk question,
Yeah.
Markham Station, um, I had a poll on my channel, on my
Yeah.
page, I should say,
Yeah.
about Jason Priestley's height because I know someone who met him too, right?
Yeah.
And the guy that met him, I'm like, he's like my height, like
Yeah.
we're around the
Yeah.
same height. And
Yeah.
I'm like, him and Jason are like the same height. So TV, sometimes you think these people are taller than they
Yeah,
are, but
yeah,
can you? And I remember my guesses for people were 5'7", 5'8", 5'9",
yeah,
5'10".
yeah,
A lot
yeah,
of people said 5'8".
yeah.
I know you don't know his exact height probably, but what would you say he was?
Was he in that picture? Was he up to my shoulders? Like,
Well, you were sitting down, I think.
oh
So
no, I
were
was
you standing up?
standing. I
I
was
gotta check it.
standing.
I gotta
Yeah,
check
I was
it.
standing. I
Oh
was
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
standing.
right. You're right. So what do
Yeah,
you think? Then is that 5'8" or 5'9"? Don't even say shorter. Don't even say shorter.
I don't know. Yeah, shorter than me, but he was, yeah, it looked like he was like a little bit above my shoulder, and
Okay.
I'm always wearing flats. I'm not wearing heels.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe, yeah, maybe 5'7", maybe, yeah, 5'6", yeah, yeah, something
Ooh,
like that.
ooh, ooh,
Yeah, yeah.
you're going short. Okay.
He's still a short king. He's still a short king.
Yeah, I respect Jason Priestley a lot. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this has been a
Yeah.
great podcast. This is the last thing we're gonna do.
What?
Okay.
This is the best podcast I've been on. It's my first, and it's the first podcast I've ever been on, but it's the best one ever.
Respect.
Respects to you, my bro.
Thank you.
We're gonna be friends forever.
There you go. Thank you. Okay. This is the last question though. Now, this is the real talk question. Do you want me to read out the Blue Jays or the Raptors?
I love both teams. I do like the Raptors. I just couldn't find my Raptors jersey. But let's go. Both teams repping Toronto. Let's go, Blue Jays.
All right.
Let's go, Blue Jays.
Yeah. Okay, you ready, Mishi?
Batter up, batter up.
Name one challenging thing you had to overcome in life.
Uh, Yeah, I'm gonna bring it back to my dad's death. It's still challenging to this day, dealing with my dad's death. Some days are like seems normal. Some days feel like his memory's like in a distance, but then I come back to reality, like Father's Day and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't have a dad. I do have a heavenly dad, but it's yeah, it's just like the father figure, just like the way we were and all that. It's just like still overcoming it, but I know I can with the faith that I have. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I figured that was gonna be it. I didn't mean to do this again and bring the tear.
Okay, no, like
Yeah.
I just feel like, oh, he's missing so many things, like watching me on his favorite show, like Amazing Race, and like all that stuff, and even like Family Feud. He's like, oh, he would always be like, "You're perfect. Just find a good husband. You're perfect. Just find a good." That's the only thing you're bad at, like not finding someone. But that's okay. Like everything happens for a reason.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow. Thanks for sharing that, Miss.
yeah,
Um, so to end it off though, here's on a good note. As you know,
yeah,
I give back to charities.
yeah. Can I ask you
Um,
what's the most challenging thing that you've tried to face, or
oh,
have you faced?
there's many. Oh, you're the first one to ask me this.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now, there's many,
yeah,
but the one thing, it happened twice to my wife, but
yeah.
she had two ectopic pregnancies,
Uh-huh.
but that was probably one of the most challenging things to get over that
Yeah.
feeling.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, I'm worried about my wife because she, of course, took it hard. So we've lost two children in our lives, both the
Uh-huh.
topic. So
Right.
we're lucky. Our
Mhm.
daughter, it was a preemie too,
Yeah.
like emergency C-section. So
Yeah.
she's our blessing, 27 years
Yeah.
old now.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two ectopic pregnancies,
Yeah.
that was hard. Yeah.
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 Oh, God bless you guys. And you guys I could tell you're a strong family, and God's always watching over you.
Yeah, I know he is. He is. That's why I'm trying to give back. While
Yeah.
I'm here, I'm 51 now, but while I'm
Yeah.
here, I just want to keep giving back
You
as
don't look
much as I
it, bro. You
can.
don't look it. You
It's,
don't look it.
it's
You
the
don't look
camera.
it,
It's the
man.
camera. It's the touch up on the camera.
Dude, it's amazing what you're doing. Like, I feel like God put us here. Like, we're meant to meet. We're meant to be be in each other's lives. This is not the end of it. Like, the podcast is not the end of it, buddy. Like,
Oh, I know.
forever. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I just gotta wear my heels when I see you, don't worry. You
I
know what I mean?
need to get
5'11".
some man heels now. They got man
I know, I
platforms.
know, I know. Okay. Wait, where's my pin? Where'd the pin go?
Uh-oh.
Oh dear. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, we'll work it out.
Yeah.
So Star Scorpio always gives back to charities at the end of the podcast.
Yay, Star
So
Scorpio,
yes.
superstar.
Yes. So the
I
four
keep imagining with
charities.
the balloons.
I know. Yeah. The four charities, Claws, Kawartha Lakes Animal Wellness Society, the Fundraiser Warriors. They're little boys. They're not little anymore, but when I started my podcast, they're little.
Yeah.
And they raise money for sick kids and other things like that. And
Yeah.
then I have my friend, Kevin B, friend since public school. He has Juku Sports Kids Camp.
Yeah.
And the last one is Liam's Mission. Liam was on my podcast. He was born with cystic fibrosis.
Oh.
And I give back to his fundraiser as well. So by my hands, tell me which one you want me to pop. One, two, three, or four.
All amazing organizations, and I want to learn more about these organizations. Let's do, you know what? We're gonna come in number one all the time. One, one, one. Let's go.
And you know what? I can't find my pin. So this is the first time I'm going to do this. I'm going to rip the
Pop the
balloon.
balloon. I feel like I'm on that show. Pop the balloon. Don't pop the
I've never done this before. You ready?
balloon. Okay.
Okay.
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah. Yeah. Big brother.
Star Scorpio.
This is crazy. Okay. For episode 103, Star Scorpio will be donating to. This is like the third one.
Yeah.
Almost in a row, but not in a row. It
Yeah.
is, I don't know if you can see it. The Fundraiser Warriors.
I was like, I love the name, and I was just like, I was, I was hoping you would pick them.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. Warriors.
Yeah. Come out and play.
Yeah,
Okay.
love it.
Look like Poppy's done now. Okay.
Yeah.
Plug your social medias before we sign off. Anywhere you want people to find you.
Yeah, big ups to that organization. Let me know more about them. I'll do my research on them and I'll help out as well. Yeah, missions with MC Mishi. Yeah, you can find me on social media there, and gonna be MCing and hosting basketball for all the hoopers out there. Join me next Friday in Regent Park at the Regent Park Community Center for all the hoopers who want to, support to fight against cancer, and come out and support your people and support the city of Toronto and the kids in Regent Park. And yeah, and if you need an MC for any of your events, you can always reach out to me. I do birthdays, weddings, special events. Yeah, and all the parties be popping when they got MC Mishi P. Oh, we get the party started. Superstar Scorpio, you don't know, from Scarborough, Toronto.
Yo,
Let's
yo.
go. One, two, three. Yes, yes, let's go. This ain't no test. We're from the north. Let's go.
The six up. All right. Missy, thanks for all that. This has been a great podcast.
Yep.
This is
Yes.
Real Talk with Star Scorpio. And we
Yes.
out.
Let's go. Let's go. God bless you.